Can you believe how much life has changed in just the past 2 weeks, or even in just this week, or just the past few days? Think about it. If someone had told you that this would be happening 3 weeks ago, would you have ever believed them? I don't think I would. I think a lot of the anxiety people are feeling right now isn't just about the pandemic or even the jobs many people have lost. It's the fact that things are changing so rapidly, and we have no control over those changes. The change itself is what's freaking out so many people. The thing about change is that it always offers you a choice. You can choose to hide from it and to resist it, or you can decide to step up and embrace it. You may not like the change, but you can choose to use it as a launching pad into something bigger and better. And as it turns out, that's about what 1/3 of people do. Experts back in the 1970s used to think that change caused stress, heart attacks, strokes, basically that change would kill you. But Dr. Mahdi at the University of Chicago thought that change didn't have to be the enemy. So he set up a 12-year study using hundreds of employees at the telephone company that used to be known as MA Bell. If you remember the old rotary dial phones, well, that was MA Bell. Dr. Mahdi chose MA Bell because it was obvious that the company was going to be eventually broken up. So Dr. Mahdi and his associates asked hundreds of MA Bell employees questions and monitored them in everything they could think of. And then, about 6 years later into the study, MA Bell was broken up, and about 50% of all those employees were laid off. Pretty scary, right? The research team then kept following both employees that lost their jobs and those who didn't. And here's what they found. About 2/3 of the people were devastated by the change. They ended up getting divorces or having heart attacks. Their reactions ranged anywhere from suicide to cancer to compulsive gambling. And here's the crazy thing. It didn't make a difference whether they were still employed or not. 2/3 of the people who kept their jobs still fell apart with the change, but the other third actually thrived after the company was broken up. If they stayed at the company, they became high-ranking leaders. If they were laid off, they became very successful at their new companies. And here's the deal. The people in this third that adapted so well because of the change were just ordinary people. They were just like you, and they were just like me. They weren't smarter, and they weren't better educated. They didn't have fewer problems in their lives than others. They were just like us. They were ordinary people like everybody else, except for one thing. See, the people who suffered under the change kept looking to the past. They tried to bounce back while hoping that the good old days would come back again. But let's look at the third that actually thrived. In contrast, the 1/3 that thrived stepped forward. Rather than focusing on why do bad things happen to good people, the people who thrived with the change asked, what good can come from the bad things that have happened? So ask yourself, are you focused on why is this happening to me? Are you trying to figure out how to get the good old days back and just yearning for the past? Or are you focused on, okay, so what can I do now? I really want you to be in the 1/3. I want you not only to survive, but to thrive in these times. Please let me know how I can help you. Here are some of my favorite quotes about change. Randy Posh, the guy who did the last lecture, said, "We cannot change the cards we are dealt, just how we play the game." Author John Maxwell wrote, "Change is inevitable. Growth is optional." And Maya Angelou tells us this, "If you can't change it, then change your attitude." I'd love to hear ways about how you can utilize change to be in your favor. Just hashtag Krista Mashore Coaching and let me know your answers. I'd love to hear from you.